I came from New York City to live the Maine life. I was hired to design outdoor footwear.
I live the Maine life. We're looking for college grads, so come get your check.
I came from Venezuela to live the Maine life. I opened my own restaurant.
Learn more about hundreds of Maine jobs and our tax program for college grads at liveandworkinmaine.com.
Coming up on this week's episode.
If it has Backyard Farms name on it, you know it came from this facility right here in Madison, Maine.
All right, I brought you a present. We're gonna make pepper crusted steak.
I like Simply Home because every day is different. It's like a cocktail party without the cocktails. People come in and want to talk about their home.
God blessed us with a natural resource that we want to be sure that we protect. But at the same time, we want to build an image that says, we want you to be a part of our state.
This week at Myro Studios, we are featuring songwriter, composer, and author James McVay, who is moving from out west and finding his home here in Maine.
And you, my friend, are accompanying him.
I decided to play double duty this week, so it's great.
A man of many talents.
I try once in a while.
Hi everyone, I'm Erin O'Valley.
I'm Kevin Oates.
And you're watching MaineLife.
An echo of an echo is the semblance of a sound. And I press and I've waited with my ear upon the ground. Oh, lover, I'll see you there, waiting in the willows with your autumn hair. Oh, lover, I'll see you there after many miles.
Hi everyone, here at Myro Studios in downtown Portland. Excited to have our special guest, James, all the way from California, and a special treat from my partner in crime here, Kevin Oates, who's going to be playing with him. Guys, before we listen to your music, this week on MaineLife, we got the opportunity to travel to Madison, Maine, and tour Backyard Farms, where they grow 700 rows of tomatoes. We also toured the Old Mill Pub in Skowhegan and checking in with some of the designers at Simply Home in Falmouth. So stay tuned for that.
Awesome. And James McVay is coming all the way from California and moving to Maine this year.
Welcome.
And James is not only a talented and accomplished composer and songwriter, you are also a talented author who has a new book coming out this year.
I do.
And what's it called?
It's called The Right Brain Music Method.
And that's coming out later this year.
Yes.
But more urgently, we're going to play some music together, and I'm really excited about this.
I am too. I don't often get to play with someone of your caliber.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Love it.
So this first song's off your second album, correct?
Yes, it's the title song of my second album. It's called The Middle Ages, for obvious reasons. Where did they come from? Are they flying in the sky, spying on everyone? They say they said this, and they say they said that. They say they know what's best for me, but I don't agree with that. No, I don't agree with that. 'Cause I know enough to know they're not that smart. That's why I try and listen to my heart. And I'm out here in the Middle Ages stage I'm going through. Every day I turn a page and pray I make it through. Learn to read between the lines, find the hidden clues. Out here in the Middle Ages.
We are proud to support Maine businesses. Not only are they our customers, they are the lifeblood of our state. Whether they're entrepreneurs who have come here to try to grow a business and make a life, or whether they've been in a 6th-generation business in Maine, we're proud of them all.
Hey everyone, in this week's business segment, we are taking a road trip to Madison, Maine. Very excited, I have never been. Madison, Maine is home to Backyard Farms, where they truly grow the best tomatoes. Let's go check it out.
Welcome to Backyard Farms, Erin. You are standing in the largest greenhouse in all of New England, 42 acres, all under glass, and we're producing anywhere from 25 to 30 million pounds of fresh tomatoes year-round, every year. We always say we grow for quality, not quantity. So we are truly focused on producing the best tasting tomato we possibly can, and there's nothing we won't do to accomplish that. So the tomatoes on the vine are the clusters, that standard go-to that people want each week, beefsteaks, and then cocktail tomatoes, the ones that you're seeing in this compartment.
Each row is 1/8 of a mile long, and there's 300 of them. It's a big facility.
It's very hard to articulate. It's kind of like trying to describe the Grand Canyon to someone. It's that amazing, like until you actually get in here and see it. I don't know if you can really comprehend it.
First and foremost, we are year-round. Right in the dead of winter, it'll be 70 degrees in here, tomato plants, bumblebees buzzing around. While we are growing year-round, it's a different experience every day. We're subject to interesting weather conditions, and we employ a personal gardener system. What that means is every crop care person gets 10 rows of plants that they take care of from the time the plants arrive, about this tall, to anywhere from 40 to 46 weeks later, when they're anywhere from 45 to 50 feet tall.
With the personal gardener system, it shows a sense of ownership and responsibility. There's a sign in front of their little area.
I know that the leadership team really cares about the people that work here in the greenhouse. We really care about how they feel, not just about the work, but how they're feeling in terms of personal development and what kind of opportunities we can offer them. And that's really important. Every decision that we make, we're always asking, how does it impact the employee, and what is the right thing to do for them?
Being in a 70-degree environment is unlike anything else on the planet. But what I really love about Backyard Farms is that we really take care of our people. So everyone here is local. 210 employees generally in the wintertime. We go up to about 250 in the summertime because when the heat comes on, the plants grow like crazy. Tomatoes are heat-loving plants.
We have a great impact on the environment, of course, being in sustainable agriculture, but also on the local community and on our employees.
It's a really close-knit community where you can really set down some roots, pun intended.
So speaking of which, you set your roots here a while ago, moved out of state. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. So I was working in Portland for several years, and I did leave Maine for about 8 years. I found a different career opportunity. I've always said Maine's a great place to live, but a tough place to make a living. When Backyard Farms came calling, I was just so happy to answer the bell.
One of the things that I really love about Maine in general is how beautiful it is on any given day. Even in the winter, it's still beautiful. I really appreciate that.
Even in the middle of winter, I'm outside, and that's what I enjoy most. So
every email that comes to the Backyard Farms website comes to me, so I get to hear all the compliments from our customers, how much they love our product, how much they look forward to buying it every week. Then of course I get the ones who tell me that it's the one they buy when they can't grow their own. So what I always like to say is that for the other 46 weeks out of the year, we've got you covered.
It's when you go into the grocery store and you see our tomatoes next to the competitors, you see the difference.
a lot of the local businesses like to use our tomatoes, so it kind of works as a nice little ecosystem of local homegrown stuff that we kind of worked out here. So it's great.
I go to events, I have customers or consumers that will come up running to our booth, talking about how much they love our tomatoes.
If it has Backyard Farms name on it, you know it came from this facility right here in Madison, Maine.
It's a wonderful opportunity and it's an amazing company.
And the quality of the tomatoes is the best. It really is the best.
It's your picnic table and your park bench. It's your hotel room, your office, and your nursery. It's your first date and a shoulder to cry on. It's your barbershop, your dance floor, and your toolbox. It's your car. Find it at Quirk.
Simply Home is an experience. It's not just a store. And you find people come from within the state, out of the state, and even out of the country as a destination to come to this special place that is set up with different vignettes that are very representative of the owner, Linda Banks, who is a well-known architect and interior designer throughout the country and overseas. Her inspiration is in every vignette throughout the showroom. So you get a little taste of what a very well-accomplished designer does, and that you can achieve that in your own home as well. We at Simply Home aim to be unique and different and to find products that you can't get in other places. When people walk through the doors, we hope that they get a sense that we're friendly, because it can be intimidating to walk into such an amazing, beautiful store, and it can be quite overwhelming. So we try to make you feel comfortable and at ease and encourage you to take your coat off, sit in the chairs, walk around, and to focus on the things that you like. Once we can target and find something that you really like, we can move from there to help you in finding the needs that you have for your home. We have a lot of answers. We're a well-educated design team. We all collaborate. Oftentimes you'll see design projects on a table and everyone contributes, so you're getting a lot of knowledge and education in every piece of advice that you get from the people that work here. So it's exciting. We definitely do custom applications for pillows. You could buy fabric, and then we have someone who would make the pillows for you. A really quick way to make a change is by bringing in color. A throw, a pillow, that doesn't have a big dent on your pocketbook, and it really can make a big impact on your room. I like Simply Home because every day is different. Every person who walks through the door has different needs, and it's like a cocktail party without the cocktails. People come in and want to talk about their home, and we're all enthusiastic about design, so it hopefully makes you feel welcome and excited to move forward in your home projects. Our showroom is constantly changing, so with every setting that you see, you're getting an aesthetic that you may not get anywhere else. You can get whatever you want at Simply Home, whether it's off the floor or custom.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Old Mill Pub in Skowhegan. It is a Backyard Farms favorite. They sent us here with fresh tomatoes, literally just picked and packaged. We're gonna head into the kitchen to meet one of the owners and Chef Ben. We're gonna slice and dice some tomatoes, make a steak salad, get to know the pub a little bit better, and also the Skowhegan area. Hello, Chef Ben. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, I brought you a present. We're gonna make a pepper crusted steak. Before we do that, you had a really cool experience working for Backyard Farms.
I sure did, yes. They gave me 5 years and I was able to, slowly build up the ranks, and now here I am invested in my own business.
I love it, and you are circling back with them by using their tomatoes here.
Absolutely.
So Ben, aside from the Backyard Farms tomatoes, you try to use other locally sourced products?
We do, like the bakeries right up the street from us. They provide us with all of our local breads here, outsourced to a local farmer here in Skowhegan who makes wonderful artisan cheeses. Some of the local breweries around town, we use their beers to make new sauces, cheeses, and gravies, you name it. The Old Mill Pub has been a restaurant, believe it or not, close to probably 50 years or so. Wow. We started with the McCarthys, who were a local family, and they actually transitioned it to a restaurant from a grist mill. So the building itself is about 115 years old. We've owned it now for about 5 years, but growing up as a child, my father and I used to come here and listen to live music, which we still carry today. You think about, how you always want to kind of own a business together, and especially with a family, and then sure enough, the opportunity came around, and just so happened to be, like I said, one of our favorite places to come and eat and enjoy our time. And if it wasn't for Backyard Farms, I wouldn't be in the position where I could have invested in my own business. So.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah.
Way to be part of the community and the history of that.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
really neat. Well, it looks awesome, so let's grab a seat at the bar and dig in.
Awesome. Yeah.
And thanks again to Chef Ben and everybody over at Backyard Farms for sharing their story with us today. If you are in the area this summer, definitely check out the pub, sit outside on their deck, or you can enjoy live music every Thursday and Saturday. We're now heading back to Portland to check in with this week's Game Changer. Bon appetit.
We support Game Changers because it's the only outlet of its kind that seeks out and celebrates this kind of innovative and creative talent here in Maine.
Welcome back to Game Changers. My name is Jess Knox, your host, and this season we're going to be bringing back Game Changers from last season to get an update on their work. And today we're joined by Chanel Lewis, who joined us last year to talk about a project she's working on called Represent. Chanel, can you give us an update on your project?
After our conversation and a myriad of debriefs and etc., we decided to shift a little bit. In the wake of the election and everything going on, I felt like we just weren't having conversations as a community. We were talking to people who agreed with us all the time and didn't really have the tools to talk to people that didn't. So I created a seat at the table, which is having difficult conversations with people who you don't know and who you might not agree with.
And how's that project gone so far this year?
It's gone well. It's gone really well. In February, we had a topic of race and privilege, and in March, it was sex and gender and identity, and in April, it's climate change.
Great. So I know that in one of the events, you took a trip out sort of outside the bounds of urban Portland.
Yeah.
And I saw you post a little bit on Facebook. Could you tell me about some of the experiences you have when you went to rural Maine?
I was featured on an episode of Millennial, which is a podcast that talks about a whole bunch of stuff.
That's by Megan Tan, right?
Megan Tan,
Yep.
yep. We decided to take our show on the road, if you will, and we drove an hour west to Brownfield. And in that moment, we woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, got on the road at 5:30, and just went to a diner and had conversations with people that are truly outside of our city, right, our city zone, but then also outside of our comfort zone. And it was a challenging conversation at times, but I really enjoyed it.
This sounds like such an interesting project. How do you think these conversations with people that are different from us, when we're exposed to people that are different from us, when we're sort of made to feel uncomfortable, how does that add to sort of the building of community, you think?
It creates empathy. I think above it all, it creates compassion and understanding.
That sounds great. Thanks for the update. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
It is now time for our Maine Tales segment. Each week here on MaineLife, we ask our viewers to submit video of their furry friends for us to share. This week, meet sisters Katie and Zoe. We'd like to thank proud mom Ashley Tucci from Cumberland for sending in that video. Also here on Maine Tales, we like to recognize all of our veterinarians around the state of Maine who take really good care of our furry friends. So Katie and Zoe would like to thank their veterinarian, Dr. Louise from Yarmouth Veterinary Hospital. If you'd like to submit video of your pets, you can email us at info@mainelifemedia.com. Now we'll send it back to Kevin and James.
Thanks, Erin. We're excited to hear more music from James McVay. This song is called The Wish.
I wish to heaven there was peace on earth. I wish it every day. I've never understood this need for war and people dying that way. I wish to heaven there was peace on earth. I know that sounds naive. It's time we started putting people first, not the economy. I understand about the big machine, the MIC and all the rest. If we just go on killing each other, soon there'll be no people left.
Welcome back, everybody, here again at the Myro Studios in Portland, introducing our special guest today, a Maine leader who's been a tireless advocate for our Maine business community for many years. Meet Dana Connors, president of the Maine State Chamber of Commerce. Chatting here with Dana Connors, the president of the Maine State Chamber of Commerce here at the Press Hotel. Kind of cool, Dana, that we are in the newsroom.
We are, huh?
Looks a little different than the traditional newsroom I'm used to.
It certainly does. Very nice.
Those folks out there who might not know what the president of the Maine State Chamber does, give us a little bit of an overview of what's going on right now.
Well, the State Chamber is a membership organization. We're a 501c6, which means you do a lot of advocacy. We go to Washington for a fly-in. We bring the legislature to Sunday River to talk with leadership. We try to do all that we can to work with businesses, local and regional chambers, to try to build the face of Maine, to offer promise and opportunity, and as well as address barriers that we face in order to grow the economy and help our people.
So what are our barriers, and what is your forecast for the state right now?
I set myself up for that, didn't I? Actually, I think that Maine has become recognized as a place that is beautiful to come to. It's a great vacation land. So many times people that come here would love to stay here. And it's for us the opportunity to try to provide those types of jobs that are apparent to economy that we have today, so that we can attract the Mainer that left that wants to come back. God blessed us with a natural resource that we want to be sure that we protect as part of our quality of life. But at the same time, we want to be welcoming, and we want to build an image that says, we want you to be a part of our state.
That brings me to the question of attracting younger folks to Maine. What can we do better, or what can we do more of?
Marketing ourselves better, and I think having aggressive programs that go out, live and work in Maine. What you're doing, as a matter of fact, it's being aggressive about dealing with our workforce challenges that we have. When you have more deaths than births in a given year, then you know that you need somehow to reverse that, and you do that by bringing people to Maine, whether they're the new Mainer, the immigrant community, or whether they're professional. Being positive about ourselves, marketing the opportunities to others, and being very welcoming in the process.
So let's have a fun question. The Dana that's not the president. What does your MaineLife look like when you're not wearing that hat?
Well, there's an abundance of things I like to do. I love to golf, I love to ski, I love to sail on the lake, I love to go to the theater, I love to go out eat on Friday nights, particularly right here downtown. There are so many things to do in Maine. For people that don't take advantage of it, I feel bad, because it is the only part of it. As much as I love this downhill ski in the winter and those types of activities, I wish we could stretch out summer.
You've met so many hardworking, interesting people over the years.
I have.
Can you think of one person that comes to mind who's really impacted your life, or who's impressed you, or somebody you admire?
Both of my parents came, my mom and dad, came to Easton, Maine, where I grew up. The work ethic that they inspired in us, and that sense of respect for others and the value of relationships, to not give them a lot of credit for that would be a tremendous disservice to them. I wish they were alive so I could tell them that. I've had the privilege to work with a lot of governors, and I will say this, each of them have different personalities. They all came to their jobs wanting to do the best for the state and its people. I happen to think that our U.S. senators in my lifetime have been exemplary in terms of not just what they did for our state, our nation, and our international relations, but also the way they did it. The respect, the relationship building, all the things that you don't see as much today as you used to.
Yeah. Well, clearly we're both proud Mainers.
We are.
Thanks for chatting with us.
Oh, the pleasure's been mine.
Getting to know you better.
Yeah.
And once again, a big thank you to our friend Dana Connors for all that he continues to do for the state of Maine. Almost a wrap. We're going to hear one more song from Kevin and James.
Thanks for watching MaineLife. We'll see you next week.
Dear Adeline, have mercy, please. There's something in this half of man that cannot bear to see.